Hello, this is me, Zeeshan Hasan, and we are looking at the one of the recent topics, recent reporting standards, and SBR, Strategic Business Reporting, recent standard on sustainability reporting. This is one of the newly introduced area in SBR, right? So it can be examined in the current issues SBR. So let's start with it. Okay. Um, in 2021 April, the IFRS I found a consulting. You might what is consulting paper, right? What is consulting paper? Uh, those who studied the framework area carefully and the process of making IFRS, the consultation paper is the one where the members of IASB write their recommendations for write their recommendations, the points which they think should be including should be included in should be included in IFRS, should be included in the new version of IS and IFRS, right? So, and the second document was an exposure draft with proposed targeted amendments to the IFRS Foundation Constitution, accommodating international sustainability standards. Board this would allow the ISSB, that is International Standards of Sustainability on Sustainability. So far, so good. So this would allow ISB to set sustainability standards, right? And so the IFRS Foundation, the IFRS Foundation reviewed the feedback on the consultation paper on sustainability reporting and set a strategy that proposed the creation of a strategy foundation. Each would focus on information that is material, that is material to the decisions of investors and the participants in the world's capital markets. Okay. The new board would initially focus on climate-related reporting while also moving quickly to do work towards meeting the information needs of investors on other environmental, social, governance matters. The new board would build on well-established work of the financial stability boards, the task force on climate-related financial disclosures, uh, which is also known as TCFD, right? The Task Force on Climate-Related Financial Disclosures, as well as work by the Alliance of Standard Setters in sustainability and integrated reporting focused on enterprise value. By working with standard setters from key jurisdictions, standards issued by the new board would provide a would provide a globally consistent and comparable sustainability reporting framework. Okay, so there is a broad stakeholder support for globally recognized sustainability reporting. Okay, currently it can be argued that there are diverse approaches to and objectives for sustainability standard setting, which could result in increasing global fragmentation. This demonstrates need to promote comparable reporting, reduce the complexity in the approaches and objectives. So, because of ISB, International Standard Accounting Board, relationships with governance bodies and industries, and its expertise in international standard setting, it could play an important role in global sustainability reporting by creating new board that could operate under its existing governance structure. Right. Uh, the objective of ISSB would be to develop and maintain a global set of sustainability reporting standards. Such standard setting could make use of existing sustainability frameworks, standards. The development of a framework for sustainability reporting could be coherent with IFRS standards. IASB mission to serve investors and primary users of financial statements could adopt the existing standard setting process, use the experience of the IASB in promoting consistent use and application of sustainability standards. The IFRS Foundation established expertise in standard setting, which would benefit both the new ISSB and investors. This would help investors to use sustainability reporting to inform their decisions by giving them comparable and verifiable information. Okay. The standard would benefit from interactions between financial reporting and sustainability reporting. In addition, in addition, uh, investors would benefit. Investors would benefit if a single organization develop requirements in financial reporting and sustainability reporting. Okay. The IFRS Foundation is well positioned to develop an appropriate institutional and governance framework. Okay. However, there is a risk of reducing the uh, current momentum created by other frameworks and standard setting bodies. As an alternative, the IFRS Foundation could encourage regulators to mandate the use of sustainability reporting. It could be argued that the GRI standards already have created global sustainability reporting standards. Regulatory authorities could mandate. The European Union is also taking the lead in developing sustainability standards and very ambitious about the time scale to develop and issue them. The IASB could contributed expertise in financial reporting, okay, uh, to find consistency between financial and sustainability reporting. Uh, so far, so good. Uh, Now, the sustainability development goals, right? Another area that is sustainability development goals, and the sustainability development goals, shortly known as SDGs, are 17 goals. Okay, these are the 17 goals tackling major world issues agreed by 193 UN member states to be achieved by 2030. That means 7 years from now. These goals include zero hunger, decent work, and economic growth, and reduce inequalities, right? So it is quite idealistic, by the way, and idealism, in my opinion, and majority of you may agree that it's not achievable. Maximum can be, but less. but 100% it can't. So the SDGs apply to all countries and set the priorities for governments, demographic and social change shift in global economic power, urbanization, climate change, resource scarcity, inequality, technological breakthroughs, and corporate response. Okay. There is increasing interest by the investors in understanding how businesses are developing. Investors seek information on the relevance of SDGs to overall strategies, and those entities providing relevant data will help investors make informed decisions, which can lead to capital being channeled to responsible business. So there are various or several reasons why companies should focus on uh, uh, sustainable business practices, which are number one, the increased future focus on sustainable business. Such businesses practices often improve performance as they lower operational, reputational, and regulatory risks. There are significant business growth opportunities in products and services that address the sustainability development goal, or you can say SDG challenges. The fact that short-term profit-based models are reducing in relevance, companies and their stakeholders are changing how they measure success, and this is becoming more than just about profit. Okay, investors realize that SDGs will not only be equally relevant to all companies uh, with boilerplate disclosure having little relevance at all. Good disclosures will qualitatively show how the company's SDG related activities and affect the primary value drivers of the business. It would be natural to assume SDG reporting should be based around the disclosure of information to mitigate business risk, drive for improved predictability of investment. However, there is to be fair presentation, then there should also be disclosure of any negative, positive impacts on society and environment. Okay. Investors' expectations will still be focused on companies realizing their core business activities with financial uh, stability as a prerequisite for attracting investment. However, institutional investors have a fiduciary duty to act in the best interest of their beneficiaries and thus have to take into account environmental, social, governance factors which can be financially significant. Companies utilizing more sustainable business practices provide new investment opportunities. Okay. So investors screen companies as regard their ESG policies and integrate these factors into their valuation models. Additionally, there is an increased practice of theme investing whereby investors select a company for investment based upon specific ESG policy criteria such as clean technology, green real estate, education, health. Investors are increasingly factoring impact goals into their decision making, whereby they evaluate how successful the company has been in a particular area. For example, the reduction of education inequality. This approach can help optimize financial returns, demonstrate the contributions through portfolios investment term financial firm. SDG information reduced in there with widely accepted recommendations. The global reporting initiatives and the global
All right. So, just a second, folks. Yeah, sorry for the interruption. We are back. So, for investors, it is important that SDG related reporting is presented in the context of the strategy, governance, performance, and the prospect of the entity. Stakeholders should be engaged from the beginning in order to identify any potential impact. With some investors expecting companies to have a stakeholders dialogue that is beyond the financial matters, investors often require an understanding how the entity feels about the relevance of the SDGs to overall corporate strategy, which will include discussion of risk and opportunities identified and changes that have occurred in the business model as a result. Okay. So at the SDGs and targets are likely to present some of the greatest business risk and opportunities for companies who should publish material SDG contributions, both either the positive, the negative, the part of their report. For example, inability to address negative social and environmental impacts, determinable short-term financial value for business. Investors are increasingly seeking investment opportunities that can make credible contribution to the realization of the SDGs. However, if an investor wants to have a positive impact on working conditions, for example, they cannot assume that any investment in this is relevant. The investor would data on the lowest income workers, potential income increase, and how confident the company is that an increase in income will occur. So investors can choose not to invest or to newly previously overlook opportunities that offer an attractive impact and financial opportunity, even though this may involve additional risk. So there is an assumption that the disclosure of ESG factors will ultimately the cost of capital, lowering it for sustainable businesses, increasing it for unsustainable ones. It may also affect cash flow forecasts, business valuations, growth rates, investors, employee screening strategies, which may involve eliminating companies that have specific feature. For example, low pay rate for employees, eliminating them on a ranking basis. They may also be eliminated on the basis of company who are contributing or not to range of SDGs and target. Okay. Investors will also use SDG related disclosures to identify risk and opportunities on which they will or will not engage with companies. Investors will see potential business opportunities in those companies that address the risk to people and the environment, and those companies that develop new beneficial uh, products, services, and investments that may mitigate the business risk related to the SDGs, right? So that's all you need to know regarding the sustainability reporting. And just, I hope you understand it. If you have any questions, any concerns, you can comment, or you can contact me on the WhatsApp, and I will over there to help you out. That's it for now. Thank you.